What's on your playlist right now?
In my class.
Go to guilty pleasure food.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
My name is Michael Rios, and I'm the Vice Provost for Public Scholarship and Engagement at UC Davis. Public Scholarship and Engagement is a university-wide office that champions community engagement in research, teaching, and learning. Since 2007, I've been a faculty member in community development, geography, and environmental design. I'm a first-generation college graduate, and I'm passionate about serving communities in ways that promote equity, inclusion, and justice.
Michael, thanks for being here. Welcome to Face to Face.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. Let me just start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about your job and how you find yourself in this role of being the champion for public scholarship and engagement here at UC Davis.
Yeah, so beginning in 2017, I was a faculty member, and I was asked to lead a university-wide effort to create an implementation framework to uplift the community and publicly facing work of our faculty, our students, and our staff. And so shortly thereafter, the office was created, Public Scholarship Engagement, as really a way to integrate community engagement into research, teaching, and learning. And through the office, I was then asked to serve as the inaugural Vice Provost for Public Scholarship, thanks to your leadership. And it's also one of the first of its kind in the UC system.
Occasionally I make a right decision, so I'm glad to have you in the role. That's great. You know, we talk a lot about youth-inspired research, and as you know, we just crossed the $1 billion mark in research awards, and a lot of people ask, what does that mean for the community? What does that mean for me? And so I think these are great examples of what that amount of research can do for our local community. I want to shift the focus a little bit to students, though, and community-engaged learning. What does this do for our student body?
Yeah, so this is an approach that really provides opportunities for our students to learn beyond the classroom, right? To then also be exposed to societal issues, to gain skills that relate to collaborative and civic leadership, creative problem solving, as well as intercultural engagement. So some of the benefits really is providing access to that learning, but really complementing the discipline-based skills they get at the university through application, through reflection, but also the knowledge that they're gaining and engaging those communities themselves.
So it really rounds out their classroom experience and complements that classroom experience.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting. We have a new program called Sacramento Valley College Corps, which you're familiar with. Can you tell us about that and what opportunities in that program exist for our students?
Yeah, it's brand new. So beginning this fall, undergraduate students will be placed in organizations and agencies to provide direct services around K through 12 education tutoring, climate action, and food security. And so beyond developing civic and leadership skills, the opportunity really is actually that they'll get paid for that upon completing the program. So this is UC Davis is leading a regional-wide consortium of universities and colleges over the next 3 years to place 1,000 students in Sacramento and Yolo counties. So for any students that are out there listening, I think you should look into this because it's a great opportunity to really complement what you're learning on campus, but also get paid for doing it.
Getting paid is important. It really affects the cost of attendance and all the issues our students are facing. We have some partners in that program as well, right? Community colleges and others.
Yeah. So Sacramento, Sac City College, Sacramento State, Woodland Community College. So it's one of the few grantees across the country that have a consortium approach, because I think while we are providing benefit to our students, we have to ask ourselves, how are we positively impacting the region? How are we building the capacity of organizations? And so I think this regional approach, this partnership with other higher eds, I think is going to make the difference and make this initiative stand out across the state.
That's great. Another example of UC Davis taking a lead in something that's very important for the state and for the city and the region. all of that is so interesting. Can you tell me what you find the most exciting part of your work is?
Well, I think it's about people. I think it's about serving communities and the relationships that take place that create a collective impact that is greater than any one individual could do. Just seeing that impact, to me, it's motivating and it really inspiring as well. I think another part of the work that I love to do is really advocating for equity and scholarship. And so how do we create a university that is welcoming to scholars that are practicing community-engaged forms of research and teaching? And in what ways are we recognizing their work, for example, in merit promotion? And so I feel really strongly as a faculty member having practice that we have to really open up the ways we think about acknowledging, recognizing, and rewarding the type of scholarship that as a public university we should be doing.
Right. Really just breaking down that ivory tower
Yes.
and really being a part of the community we serve.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch to another part of the show that we call Hot Seat. And it's not intimidating at all. I'm going to give you some short, rapid-fire kind of questions, and we're looking for one-word or one-sentence answers. So you ready?
I'll try.
Okay, here we go. I know you're from Brooklyn, but you've been on the West Coast for a while now. So this is an easy one. Which is better, East Coast or West Coast?
I have to say West Coast because I've been here longer at this point in time, and I just like the culture, the diversity, the climate. So I hope no one from my family is listening back east.
You can give a different answer when you're back east. Okay, if you could have an hour with anyone, alive or dead, who would you like to meet?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, I've always been inspired by the work of Paulo Freire, who was a Brazilian educator who really broke down the silo to think about how knowledge is produced outside the academy and how we can engage in knowledge production to transform society. So I would say it would be Paulo, although I don't speak Portuguese, so we need a translator.
So if you have one of your friends from the East Coast here visiting, where do you take them?
I like to go out to restaurants, so I probably would hit a Sacramento restaurant. I like to bike as well, so I would jump on a bike and head out to one of the local craft breweries on the way to Winters and back. So get a little of exercise, some fun, and burn those calories off.
Yeah. You got a favorite restaurant that you take them to?
No, it really just depends on what I'm interested or they might be interested in. I love a whole range of foods.
Okay. Who's your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, I would say, as first generation student, and I think my parents, and I'm sure you probably get that often, it was really their sacrifice and hard work and the value that they placed in education as a way to advance. And so, to this day, when I see them, I just thank them for what they did to send myself and my siblings through college and really provide the supports that we needed so that we were ready to succeed in college as well.
Yeah, parental and family support is so important for all of us. I would probably give the same answer. Last question. This is one of my favorite ones that I ask all of my guests this question. What artist or song is at the top of your playlist right now?
Okay. Well, I have eclectic tastes in music. So right now, a colleague turned me on to lo-fi hip-hop. Now, I don't have any artists, but it's a type of kind of background music that is calming and relaxing when you're studying, you're reading, and it's just got a soothing beat. And lo-fi, low fidelity, means that the music is not perfect. It has some sort of impurities in it. So I like the fact that it's not perfect, but it's background noise. An artist that comes to mind that I'm listening to right now, it would be Robert Plant, because I'm going to go see Robert Plant and Alison Krauss at the Greek Theater, I think, a week from now, so that's top of mind right now on my playlist.
Old school. I like that. All right. Okay, now it's your turn, Michael. You can ask me any question you'd like.
Yeah. So, as chancellor of what I would call UC's land-grant university, UC Davis, but also being director of the boards for the Association of Public Land Grant Universities, you have a really unique lens about public universities and higher ed in general. So what do you see as the future of the land grant university? And what are things that land grant universities should keep on doing like UC Davis is doing, but also what are the things that we're not doing that we actually should be doing?
That's a great question. I think public universities, land grant universities in general, have a unique public service mission that's different from other branches of higher ed. We were given this land by the state governments that we operate in and asked to serve our community in a specific way. I think we have to generate and research public universities and land grant universities have to use the discoveries that we produce in order to benefit the society we inhabit. And that means everything from employment to economic development to consultation and other forms of public service. So those are the things that I think we are charged to do. I'm not always sure, that we're doing them as well as we might, to answer the second part of your question. And I think if you look at, polling, the public is skeptical of universities these days, whether it's skepticism about how expensive we are or whether we're indoctrinating our students or, all these different tropes that have, a kernel of validity that we should not ignore. So the thing that we have to do better is to address those concerns that the public have about us, and the only way we do that is by doing things like what you do, engaging the public in our scholarship and our research.
Thanks. I have a second question if I have time. So I know you're a big advocate of equity and student success.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about the types of activities that we're increasingly doing around experiential learning, some of the community-engaged learning that I talked about, and what is that? What's the importance of those types of learning experiences for overall student success?
Yeah, I'm a big believer that only a portion of the learning that we are charged with providing our students occurs in the classroom setting. I think a big portion of it occurs in the community, in research labs. We do have a significant undergraduate research enterprise here on our campus. The idea is for our students not to just learn what, but also to learn why, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So they should be able to apply what they're learning in a particular context. Mm-hmm. And we need to do that with an equity lens as well, because it's important for all students of all backgrounds to have this experience here so that they're really empowered to have a great career when they leave UC Davis.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Well, this has been great, a great conversation. Thank you, Michael, for being here on Face to Face. And thanks to everyone who's watching out there. We'll see you next time on Face to Face. Go Ags.